Xin chào mừng quý vị và các bạn quay trở lại với phần 2 của chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam trên kênh truyền hình FBNC, phỏng vấn bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon, Tổng Giám đốc Bệnh viện Pháp Việt Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Cẩm Thu xin phép được tiếp tục cuộc trò chuyện với vị khách mời này nhé. So now let's talk about the hospital that you direct, FV District 7. Could you please tell us why and how the FV hospital was established?
Well, I think that it comes from the long history between our two countries. Some of my partners, I mean, all my partners are doctors, but some of my partners visited Vietnam a long time ago, and to provide support, assistance, teaching, and then they thought about creating a hospital. And I met them a little bit by accident, and then because myself I wanted to participate into the hospital project, and then. Even though I didn't have any links with Vietnam. So I was drawn by them into this project and I really liked it. So this is the emotional part. Business-wise, you see at that time, Ho Chi Minh City was the only important city, modern city in Southeast Asia without a modern hospital. All the hospitals, almost all of them, were public and not in very good shape. And this is also why the government wanted to open the doors to foreign investors. So this is why we're here.
I see. What challenges did you and your business partners face in setting up the hospital?
Challenges, well, countless challenges. A lot of. I think the most difficult one was to convince people that it was doable to make a hospital in Vietnam, a modern hospital. Because most people looked at us and was like, a hospital in Vietnam? I mean, this is, most people had no idea that Vietnam would develop so much. So I think this is the main challenge. We didn't have many challenges from the authorities because they really liked the idea and they helped us. But the main challenge was to convince others to participate or to finance us, like the banks, for example. Not always easy. This was the main challenge.
I see. Now, as I understand it, the European Business Association recently awarded you with the Leader of the Year achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you please tell us both the meaning and the significance of it?
Well, I think they are looking around to look for people who are managing their business in a certain way. I don't really know their criteria, but the meaning is quite flattering to be given that because it's not given to everyone. I never thought about my management style, but probably they thought about it and thought it was good. So for me, it's an honor. I'm not sure about the meaning, but just very pleasant to get.
I see. The medical sector in Vietnam has seen tremendous growth, and we now have a large number of international hospitals in Vietnam to choose from. So how is FV positioned in this competitive environment?
Well, when we wanted to create this hospital, we immediately set ambitious targets. We wanted to be a real good hospital because we're all doctors, we had ideals. So we wanted to make the hospital we dreamed about, a hospital where we could work. So I don't know where we stand. We've been recently accredited by JCI, as you know, which is quite difficult things to obtain. So we must have been not that bad if we've got it. But competition is good because it forces us to improve, to get even better. And we are striving to learn, to improve, and to be always trying to stay ahead of others.
I see. What is your client base at the hospital? Breakdown in terms of class, age, ethnicity?
Well, first of all, Vietnamese.
Yeah.
75% of our patients come from Vietnam. Of course, the large majority are coming from Ho Chi Minh City, but about 20% of them travel more than 2 hours to come to the hospital. So they come from everywhere, from the Mekong Delta, from the central Vietnam, even from Hanoi. We have patients coming specifically to FV. Then we have about 20% expats, half of them being Westerners and half of them being Asian. Then we have a contingent of Khmer who travel from Cambodia.
Wow, that's impressive.
They don't live here, they travel. Every month we have about 800 Khmer coming over. We actually have 4 Khmer interpreters. And then we have tourists and people like that. Also a number of Viet Kieu from America, Australia, Europe. But the number one are Vietnamese.
I see. So I understand that a significant number of local Vietnamese have come to FV for treatment. What is the feedback received from the local clients so far?
We conduct ongoing patient survey. We do that permanently. We analyze our patients, we try to understand them, we talk to them to get to always improve. And we have a very good patient loyalty. So it's like, if you prefer, when you try it, you don't want to try something else anymore. So most of our patients are regular. But of course we always have people who are not happy about something or want us to improve, so we listen to that as well. But the main point for us is to listen to our patients and to try to get always better. And I think this attitude resonates with them. I think we are trying to make our patients happier because it's not easy. When you go to a hospital, it's because you're sick, right? It's not because you are in good shape, unless you come for a checkup. But so it's always a part of anxiety. So a hospital has to be holistic. So you have to take care of all facets of your patients, not only his medical condition, the most important of course, but also a lot of other things. The environment is important, the way we treat patients is important, and I think this is appreciated by them.
I see. Another impressive fact is that FV was chosen by the White House to be the backup hospital for President Obama when he visited Ho Chi Minh City last May. This speaks volumes regarding the reputation of the hospital in the high-level circles. How did this choice come about? Could you please expand?
Well, I think the fact that we are accredited by the Joint Commission International was a factor. Then the White House medical unit came over, visited the hospital. They have a script, you know. They have to see what do we do in case of accident, trauma, heart attack, everything we can, you know. And they follow that, and they look at the processes. They visit the hospital from the ceiling to the basement and talk to doctors, visit everything. And at the end, they make a report, and the report was very, very positive. So they told us that that's fine, because if we hadn't been good enough, another plans would have to come over with a special makeshift hospital for the president and his environment and his entourage. So you know, they didn't need to do that.
I see. I heard JCI certificate is one of the most important factors.
It's a very important one because it's all about patient safety, better outcome. It's all those standards which are international. You know, we always say that we provide international standard healthcare, but this JCI accreditation means that JCI experts came over and analyzed the hospital during 5 full days, and came to the conclusion that yes, indeed, we are complying with international standards.
That's great. Thank you. We should get back in a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là phần 2 của chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam trên kênh truyền hình FBNC, phỏng vấn bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon, Tổng Giám đốc Bệnh viện Pháp Việt Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Cẩm Thu xin phép được quay trở lại trong vòng ít phút nữa.